So that's it right there. Yo, what's happening? Welcome to the Director's Den Chop Shop, episode 41. Got my guys in the room. You already know it's going to be a crazy discussion. Today, we're going to dive on why men quietly fall apart. But before we get into tonight's discussion, let me go ahead and chop it up and check in with the fellas, see how the week been going. What's going on, fam?
What's happening?
What's happening?
Well, with it.
AJ's phone still dead. Shout out to my boy AJ. He dropped his phone in the Cleveland water, and we lost him after the last episode. But
we're having a memorial service for his phone this week. Send your condolences.
AJ, you know we love you, bro. He at the Aviators game, man. Hopefully they get the dub, and hopefully he enjoying his time with his family, friends, kids, whoever he with. Man, how's the week been, guys? How's the week been?
I'll hop into it. My week been cool because this was like I got a pretty much a full week off from school, like from work. Our school was done early, so just with the kids for real at the crib, but still trying to keep them, in some type of structure. I still let them do them, but they gotta wake up and do a little bit of work, and been trying to put them through workouts, and they've been locked in with me though. Like they've been getting to it. I ain't really been no complaining. So it's just been a cool week from that perspective. But gearing up for the summer camp to start actually this week coming up. And I'm back in the music lab teacher again. So just kind of getting ready for that. But my week been solid for real.
That sounds good, man. Summer break.
That's dope.
And you like in the school vibe. So it's like as a grown man to get a summer break. How does it feel for the rest of us out here that gotta go to work tomorrow, nigga?
Man, what? You remember them days like when you was kids and you get summer break off, but your parents still be working? You remember that? Like, damn, why they don't get summer break? Hey, but I get a summer break now, dog.
Hey, man, kudos to you, bro. Hey, that's lit. I was looking at a job application to be a bus driver for Columbus City. You know what I mean? I gotta do something to give me a little 3 month stretch. Might retire the videography gig. It's making me work way too much. How your week been, Clee?
Man, this was a glorious week for me, to be honest. On the personal side, we wrapped up. We had graduation for the school that I work at, KIPP Columbus, and then also the school that I used to work at, AUS. They had their graduation earlier today, so I feel like I'm kind of tied. I don't know what the special bond is with this class of 2026, all the way dating back to 2024. I've had that bond with the class of 2026 from the school I was at before. And then once I got hired on at the school I'm at now, just locked in with them, man. So I thought it would be like bittersweet, but it was just joyous. You know what I'm saying? To see the smile on their faces, to see them, when you walk across that stage and finally see all those days of work that you put in, you know what I mean? To kind of tie in what Chalk said, just like you get up every day, you put that work in, and you have a big game. You know what I mean? So they had their big game with graduation, to see their family and their loved ones. It all kind of came together. You know what I mean? Because we see the front side of it while we at school with them, but we don't see the backside of their family and that support. So to have all that come together in one moment, and see them really lean into that was dope. My daughter, she about to be busy. You know what I mean? Our relationship is, I mean, that's my girl. We tight as we want to be, but to kind of see her growing into a different phase with her being 6 now, just kind of being surprised at some of the things she understands and knows, things that she says. But yeah, man, it's been a good week though.
Nah, man. So you a summer break parent too? You a summer break adult too?
No, sir. I got to go to work tomorrow. The department. Yeah, I got summer hours. So I got to be there.
Okay.
I got summer hours because of the type of the department that I'm in. Although I'm a teacher, I'm also a counselor as well. So the counselor piece
Oh,
of
okay.
it, we kind of have to game plan for next year because I only deal with seniors and college applications and things like that. So I got to get college tours booked.
It's a lot
And
of
then with me
preparation
having
in
a
that.
full year, yeah. With me having a full year on deck, I'm really excited for me being able to kind of plan this school year. I kind of came in, the train was moving, and I had to jump on the locomotive and not get mollywopped. So it was cool.
Yeah, nah, that's what's up, man. Shout out to all the students out there, man, that's graduating. I know, like y'all said, from just being teachers, being at the school, seeing these kids and doing life with them. Sometimes it seemed like, man, do they have a village? And then, like you said, you get to the Super Bowl and you like, dang, yo, you got a crazy village. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Yo,
Crazy.
you really got people behind you going nuts for you. You know what I'm saying? So, kudos to them, man. I'm gonna go ahead and drop a horn because graduating is
Hey,
super dope. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more success in walking across that stage, and even like being at AUS's ceremony, seeing people that's like 60s, 70s coming back, getting their GEDs, getting their
Mm.
accreditations, man. Some people, man, you never know where life has taken them. I talked to a lady today, and she said, she was 85 and she was walking across the
wow.
stage and she's like, when I was coming up, I had to drop out of school to help my mom and help put food on the table. And it's like, yo, just because somebody don't have a GED don't mean that they not a good person, have a good heart.
Yeah,
Some people's situations just force them into a certain corner, and so just to
yeah.
see that she's like, before bucket list, I want to get my GED. I need to get my high school accreditation. I've been taking certifications to be certified in different things, but I just want that. And just to see that she did not give up. There ain't no age or date on the diploma. You know what I'm saying? It just says completed. So job well done to her and to all the students, man. My
Yeah,
week.
quick background story on that, just to hop in. And I was so during AUS's graduation ceremony, they actually hand out roses, chalk to like somebody that's been in their corner, so like a parent, a mentor, anything like that. And as they were up going around, bro, I end up seeing one of my homeboys from the hood I grew up in was graduating today. And I looked at him and I seen him before he
Mm.
seen me. And I was like, let's go, Bill. And he looked at me. He said, man, and he started smiling. He said, man, I should have been done with this. I said, bro, we ain't talking about that. I said, it's the fact that we here right now. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And we shared a
Yeah.
moment, man. I didn't even know that he was graduating today. So that to what you were saying, EJ, you know what I mean? It's not no time, it's not no
Yeah.
no certain date on it. You know what I mean? To check that off your list. My fault.
Yeah, bro.
Man, both
You never
both
gotta give up.
both of y'all just kind of made me remind me too. Like I know EJ, I don't want to go into your check in, but it was like the reflection of me going to Afrocentric graduation this week. Um, it made my heart smile in a few different ways because I saw a few of them walk across the stage that I didn't think was going to do it. It's a couple of former hoopers who wasn't hooping no more due to grades. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
seeing them come out capped out, drown, you know what I'm saying, gowned up, I'm like, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
yeah.
And then when they
Yeah.
outside, I'm hugging them, big hugs, like, but I'm proud of you, bro. Because I said I would be real. I didn't know if you was gonna do it, but I'm proud of you. I'm glad you. I'm glad, man.
Hey,
Hey, I kept it,
the
Hey,
honesty is
that's
what makes it
real.
worth it for real.
bro. I kept it a bean with them, and they was laughing, but they was like, "No, no, you right, man. I was playing." So even in that, then too, I thought I saw. I don't know if y'all saw this clip too. I mean, it's to one other thing too. And sometimes too, some of them, people graduate. You wonder why some people take it hard and others, like some kids be crying so hard. But sometimes you be forget, man. School really be like a safe space for a lot of kids, man. It be they space
Mhm.
where they go and they feel comfortable, and then that's where some of them eat more lunches than food at school. Like, there's some kids
Yep.
be going through that, man. So when it's really time to go, it's like, damn, this school been taking care of me for real. Like, um, and it was a one last thing, and I'll let you go ahead, EJ. It was one thing I saw online, man, that had me, man, touched me too. They say it was the last person at the graduation. It was a mom that had walked out because her son had got killed shortly before graduation, and they gave her a cap and a gown, man, and they let her walk across the stage for him, man. And it was just so heavy in there, man. Like, I know it's a lot
Mhm.
of situations with a lot of parents like that. who experience that type of stuff, man. So it's just like sometimes people take it for granted. What what the walk is like in the graduation for real, but no, it'll take a
Yeah,
lot to get there and overcome for real.
yeah. Yeah, I mean it's truly a reward. That's one thing that I see it as. It's like it's a reward. Come get your reward. You know what I mean? All that hard work, that dedication, the things like one of the speakers at the AUS graduation was talking about how she got pregnant as a freshman with twins. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Then one of them
14 when one of autistic.
autistic, you know what I mean? And
Ooh.
then just to battle that and then still graduate on time, going to the Ohio State University. You know what I'm saying? Like it's stories like that, bro, that right there touched me. I'm sitting there like, yo, I got shook up a little bit because I'm like, bro, like I ain't never been in no position where I had to take no care of no kids or I was always taken care of, bro. I can only imagine having to take care of a kid as a freshman. Not only some people that happen to them they junior or senior year, but as a freshman, 14 years old, now you got to do that, plus excel at school, plus be on time, plus be the student, the kid, and the parent for 4 years. I mean,
Mm.
the parent and stuff, that's for a lifetime, but still, like, those other aspects of your life, and then the fear of missing out and stuff like that. I always think back,
Mm.
man, that could have been a crazy way of how God could have probably saved her life. You know what I mean? Like kids that could have been the blessing that she needed that took her away from some things and
Yeah.
gave her focus and hindsight on how to get through those 4 years. You get what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
I'm always super touched by seeing young kids, man, and just want to be scholars, man, want to be better, want to be great. That made my week. You know what I mean? Today, it's just a busy week. Just working and stuff. Me and the wife, we prepare. We going to Hilton Head Wednesday, so we'll be there for a week. My youngest birthday is next Sunday. You know what I mean? So it's just like just prepping for that, and who I work for. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I ain't trying to come back to no work. You know what I mean? So like before the pod,
Yeah.
I've been at my desk ever since AUS's graduation. I've been editing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm just trying to get work done. So I put a little bit more on myself this week, but I feel so good. I feel like that weight is coming off. Every project that get done, I'm just like boom. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of I'm relieved to be honest. I can't believe I'm really saying that, but I really do feel relief as I'm just knocking out the work and stuff that we've been doing. Just before we go into our topic for the evening, fellas, I believe that y'all too, especially since y'all work in the school field, man. Just one gem that you would leave these scholars with, that walked across the stage, to get, either help them going into the next phase of life, going into college. Some maybe into the work field force. What would you say?
One thing that I've been harping on, and this is not from me, I'm just the vessel, is small decisions, big impact. And
Mm,
I really, the Lord really has been placing that in my heart. There's this movie out, or I know it's like, yeah, it's a movie. It's kind of like a documentary, but it's out on Netflix right now. It's called The Crash. And so it actually happened here in Ohio a few years ago, I think in Strongsville. But three young adults were in the car. This is after they graduated, a boyfriend or girlfriend, and then their homeboy was in the back seat. The thing that I'm gonna use is the homeboy that was in the back seat. He wasn't even supposed to ride home with them. He was supposed to ride home with another friend. At the last minute, switched it because he was like, "Man, I want to go home, take a shower, get a little bit of rest." End up losing his life. Small decisions, you know what I mean? Big impact. Not
mm,
that the driver, you know what I mean? She's in jail right now, but that's one thing I would leave because you really don't know the impact of the decision that you're making in the moment that you're making it. So even though that situation was like an honest decision that he made, it's going to be other decisions as they experience a lot more freedom, and a lot less
mm.
oversight to really make sure that you are making the right choices because those impacts, hopefully they're not daily, but they definitely matter.
That's fire. Small decisions, big impact.
For me, man, I would say it's a couple different things, man. I would just say if school not for you, then it's not for you. I would say go find your trade or whatever the case may be and run your own race and don't feel like you gotta be in school for you to be reaching a goal because you could become a great person of value learning a trade. And I mean, quiet is kept. Like some of the people who learn them trades early on, they start building their financial future a lot sooner than people who are going through 4 to 6 years of schools and incurring debt. You know what I'm saying, based on your situation. So, but like, so just run your race, whatever, whether it's school or whether it's a trade. And then when you're in school, please use all your resources, man. Check in with your whoever your advisors are, man, and internships and all that. Don't just go to school just to say, all right, I did my time and get your degree. That's good and well, but you got to be ready to prepare for that next step after that. So internships, resources, and lock in with your advisors because a lot of them people who the advisors are, they're gonna have resources and connects for you after you done with school, and they can vouch for you just based on how you carry yourself with them and your professors. Just you know what I'm saying? Be respectful to your professors, lock in with them. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. That stuff go a long way with them. So just be you carry yourself as very professional while you're in school when it comes to the right people that you're around.
Yeah, that's amazing, bro. That's amazing. And I mean, not burning those bridges, you know what I mean? Building bridges, you know what I mean? If you're going to go to college, you know, I tell people all the time, big schools ain't for everybody. There's some schools you're gonna walk in the door
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna be a number, or you can go to a small school like Muskingum University, like Otterbein, like Capital, or you can go to Columbus State, right? Like I don't like. Sometimes you need some of those more intimate, personal settings, but I think the what I'm trying to say here is you best. Don't set yourself up for failure. A lot of people who's out here chasing the parties and stuff. You can still go to the colleges and hang out and party. Trust me, yeah, it's gonna happen, right? But at the same time, just make sure you small decisions, big impact. That to me that's amazing. Um, just going into our topic, man. People, men quietly falling apart, man. I want to, I guess, just start by asking, why do y'all feel like men struggle to kind of open up emotionally?
We know I'm long
That's
winded, Chalk. I'm
that's
gonna let you
heavy.
go first.
That's heavy.
so so you said why do men struggle to open up emotionally, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Man, it's an onion. It's a lot of onion, to peel back on that. But I'll speak for myself. Like I'm just one of them ones. I've always been very protective of my space. Um, I don't like to be. I don't want to be vulnerable to the point where somebody can hurt me in that same space. Because I've seen it done. It hasn't happened to me, but I've seen it done on too many occasions where people who say they love certain people and they know all they background and they secrets and all that, and then as soon as it be one fall off or one bad day between them, now they airing each other out or they fighting, or some people would be killing each other over this type of stuff. And I mean, like I said, it's just me personally. Like I've just done better with internalizing stuff myself, and especially since on the spiritual side, like I have more conversations with God about anything, and I let Him check me, and I ain't got to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? Popping up on the front page and no type of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So that I'm thankful that I have that, and and maybe I mean I know I got people I can talk to, but it's just I just be like, you know what? I talk to God about this. If God send me to somebody to talk about this, then that's what I'll do. So it's more of a it's a covering for me personally, and I feel like a lot of men probably be like that too. It's just what I'm saying. You just covering yourself, and you feel like you're safer that way.
Is that a learned behavior? You know what I'm saying? Is that like something that you internalize and you say, you know what, man, maybe I was doing it this way. I need to now just, switch up my approach. Maybe I need to take it to God first and then, possibly if there's somebody else that he leads me to. Like, did you always be that way or did you kind of like transition into that?
A little bit of both. I mean, I feel like because coming up, like I stayed with my mom. My mom's a strong black woman, strong woman, like to where she put a lot of it was my toughness in me. You know what I'm saying? Because
Mm-hmm.
when it was me, her, and just my younger brother, my middle brother, I was per se the man of the house, and that's how she would talk to me about a lot of stuff to where I had to act a certain way, and it just always felt like that. You know what I'm saying? And there were times where I had to be strong for her too, for her. You know what I'm saying? Raising us, and as I got older, I just kind of realized, and then too, like noticing her and you know how women are, you know, they have certain types of conversations that men don't have with other women and stuff like that. So I would hear conversations that she would have as well and just be talking and talking. And I always just like, man, I don't want to be sharing my business like that with everybody. I don't. And then as I got older, like I said, thankfully,
Right.
God kicked in and was like, all right, yeah, you got me, big dog. So you ain't got to worry about too much of
Mm-hmm.
that. Just come holler at me. And if you need to talk to somebody else, I will either send you to them or I will send them to you. And they will ask the question that only somebody would be tapped in spiritually would know with you. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? On that type of time. So it's just me being very patient about it. Like I said, it was learned, but then just transition on the spiritual side.
That's good because a lot of people what I hear is you kind of always you peeped your surroundings. You peeped like, all right, I see how
Yeah.
things leak. I see how
Mm.
the way I'm gonna just patch that up is by just not leaking. There's nothing to leak if there's no water. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going
Hey, straight up.
I'm not gonna give you no water. I'm gonna just cut the water off. You know what I'm saying? But then being able to find because we go through so much in life. We have to have an outlet. If you don't have an outlet, eventually you're gonna crash out, or your outlet will turn into somebody that is a crash out, right? Like you over here getting information from the crash out. Like, yeah, bro, this is how I feel, bro. Like, help me. You've been here my whole life, and cuz like leave her. Like, huh? Like, whoa, time
Yeah,
out, time
yeah.
out. Come on, because he gonna
Hmm.
internalize your decisions and your thoughts and
Mhm.
your emotions one sided. You know what I'm saying? But Clee, go ahead.
Excuse me. I'm gonna tackle this from the same angle Chalk did. I Transparency is my superpower, but at the same time, I'm a very private person. Like if you in the house, you can see everything. Like there really ain't too much that's off limits. Like once you in the inner circle, but to get in the circle of trust, so to speak, from the Meet the Fockers movie, it's it's tough to get an entry ticket over here. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
the reason
yeah.
why is one of my father's at the time that my dad died, this was his best friend in life.
Mm-hmm.
And he did some foul things. And these things didn't come out until after my father passed away. And that opened my eyes to go past what meets the eye and what's in your integrity and what's your character. Like who are you? And that has always made me lean into I don't really care who you are as long as you're authentic. You can be the weirdo, the jock, you know what I'm saying, the goofy,
Yeah.
whatever you are. You can be a crackhead, truth be told, as long as you are authentically you and you show up. You know what I'm saying, as who
Hey,
you are.
hey,
Like,
hold up,
Hey, hold
hold
on,
up,
pause,
hold
pause,
up,
pause,
hold
time
up,
out,
hold
time out.
up, hold up.
Hey,
Yeah, hold up.
hey, hey, we not. Hey, my boy said you could be an authentic crackhead.
hey,
Authentic
hey.
crackhead is crazy, but Clee, the whole thing I'm thinking in my head is I used to tell Meg all the time, like I don't like when cats got a whole wife but want to be a pimp and hiding the pimp in they blood. Like I'd rather you just
Yes,
come out and just say, "Yo, pimping ain't easy, fam." You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I
straight
mean.
up,
I'd
bro.
rather just you authentically be that. And then I look at your wife and be like, well, she cool with pimps, you know what I'm saying? Because
Hey,
he
exactly. Exactly though, to that point, exactly, bro. Like you show up as who you are, and you let
yeah,
people pick and choose whether they are going to engage with you, and also how much they're going to engage with you. But when you show up as something that you're not, I feel like you take the decision away from me because you're
mm,
presenting me with what you think appeals to me, or you're presenting me with
mm,
a lie. And
mm,
so that's not G to me. That's not player. And my friend that, you know what I mean, I spent time with, she and I was talking one day and I told her, like, I'm a pretty transparent person because the decision is yours. You know what I'm saying? Like,
mm,
it's not G. I was like, in another life, I used to be a chameleon. I could show up as whatever you need me to show up as for me to get what I wanted. But
Mm-hmm.
as I grew older, there is no glory in that for me. The
Yeah.
glory is, man, I've shown her who I am. I've shown her my scars, my wounds, everything, my areas of improvement. I've shown you the good as well. And she here because she want to be here, not because I'm over
Mm-hmm.
here tricking her to be here. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
not player, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, most dudes or some dudes think that that's player, that, I got her, da, 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 but like, you're not showing up as your true self. So truth be
Mm-hmm.
told, you took that choice out of her hand, and you're kind of a candy coated whatever you really are. And the thing is,
Mm-hmm.
that transparency, even though what you show sometimes may be a wound, it may not be
Mm-hmm.
glorious, you get so much more respect from people. The fact that, hey, I just appreciate the fact that you showed me this. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And you left the decision up to me.
Yo,
But
that's crazy. That it's crazy because I feel like the old EJ, like I say pre-marriage, like you walking all over him. You know what I mean? And I say that because, bro, like when I was dating Meg, dog, there was just certain things I just didn't disclose. You know what I mean? It was like certain things, like just and really truly, all my homies would be like, "Bro, that's so dumb. Why don't you just tell her, bro? Like, who cares?" But I was like, how like you rapping with your chick, and she disclosing stuff to you. She's authentically being herself. Oh, I don't like dudes that smoke weed. I don't like dudes that do this. And I'm in college when I met my wife, so I'm doing everything she say she don't like. But I like her so much. I'm like, oh yeah,
it's the most stuff.
I don't do none of that. How you think I got the new birth, bro? I was like, she was like, yeah, my dude gotta go to church. I'm like, man, I guess I'm a church nigga now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
let me go.
that
Let me go
boy
find me a
crazy.
Bible.
Bro, all that
Uh,
all that new birth rapping on songs, yeah, yeah, bro, going home and being a totally different person is crazy. God had to bring it to light. I got married, and I'm gonna keep this short. I got married, and then a lot of stuff just started happening, and I really felt like that was God. I felt like in this situation, God used my own dumbness and my own stupidity and my own things to put me exactly where He wanted me to be. But because the course was going to be the same, whether you was going to be authentically you, and I didn't learn that until after. Like, I didn't realize, like, now I talk to my wife, we 11 years in, 15 years dated, you know what I mean? Like, now I sit and she'd be like, oh yeah, that was back when you was having fish fries at your apartment and smoking weed, and your dad over there, y'all drinking all day. At the apartment complex she worked at. She at the leasing office. She like, yeah, what you doing? Oh, I'm taking a nap. Niggas over there like,
that boy,
bro,
that boy said he had
we,
he said he had a fish and fifths party.
right.
Oh,
Hey,
whole time
hey,
that
no,
boy over there like fiesta, fiesta. Ain't my type of hype, baby.
bro, no cap, bro. Like, and so it's just so crazy that you say that because it's so true, and that's something that like because
Yeah.
I lacked it and I learned it. It's like something I'm always like on my kids about. Like, bro, just be you, be authentically you. Like what God got for you and what He wants for you, He can still make use out of that. I was thinking the whole time, well, she said she don't like this. She said she don't like that. The moment I expose these things about myself, she ain't gonna like me.
Mm.
And maybe God did, and I'm not saying I'm never would put on God to have me do wrong. But I believe that in that situation, He still got the glory because it's like, maybe she would have left me. Maybe she would have been like,
But
so we got
also,
married.
watch this though. To bring that thought full circle, sometimes when we front, we're also not attracting our tribe or our village. So it's
Mm,
like you kind of holding up the program by not showing up as who you should be. So as you
mm-hmm,
sitting over here fronting, trying to be what you think is in or cool or what's going to get you accepted, if you showed up in authenticity and truthness or truthfulness, excuse me, you would attract your right tribe. You would attract your person. You would attract your
Mm-hmm.
village. You would find your community. But to answer that question, you know what I'm saying, to get out the rabbit hole, to answer that question, I think there's that vulnerability piece that is, it's a gamble. Because to what Chalk said, everybody not trio. Everybody
Yeah.
don't have the same character or integrity as you. So when things break down and things shake down, you don't know whether they're gonna George Bush the button and now all my secrets is out there. And that's what happened to me, not even in a friendship. This what happened to me in marriage. Like that's what was, I think that's what made me so apprehensive to get back in the dating pool was like, bro, like I was all the way in and it didn't work out. Don't nobody know about, what I know about, but I
Mm,
don't know who know my business like that. I don't know who
right.
knows
Right.
what was going on in my bedroom, what was going on in my house. And so you really got to do your due diligence with a person, but also you don't know how life is going to change a person. You know what I mean? You could be friends with somebody. I was friends with, um, I was real close with my best friend's one of his cousins when I was in college for maybe about 5, 6 years. We was tight. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, oh, my other best friend called us the Dukes of Hazzard because we was out here on some trash. I'm talking about Shaq and Kobe, Crash and Dash, whatever other nickname you want to give. But when it shook down, well, bro, I was hell when I was well. You understand me? But I'm a man of God now. You understand? Let me take this off
God.
so I can really look dignified. I'm a man of God. You understand? You know what I mean? Man of the cloth now. But like, you know what I mean? When that friendship shook down or it broke down, he stayed trill and so did I. I never heard my business in the streets, and he never heard his in the streets. You know what I mean? And I just see him for the first time in maybe a decade at my best friend's mother's funeral, which was his aunt. And we, you know what I'm saying, chopped it up, caught up about life. But the thing was, his character and my character were both revealed in that separation. And I was having a conversation last week, and I heard a brother say this. He said, friends can break your heart too. And he was like, men don't want to admit that. But when you locked in with somebody, I'm talking about years invested, time invested, you trust that person
Yeah.
as a trusted advisor, shakes down, it a bit apprehensive about going out there, you know what I mean, and getting out there again. Now
Yeah.
I'm going back to the Nakoyes.
Nah, bro. I
No,
definitely think it's that
character. Right.
vulnerability. I think that vulnerability piece is heavy, bro, because you relationship time and relationship is going to be information given, right? Like there's certain things that just come with certain pieces to the puzzle, right? Like, bro, you my guy, bro. Like why would I not be sharing certain things with you that I wouldn't disclose to other people, right? Because like you said, authentically me, I attracted my tribe. My tribe now gets the insight on things that I'm doing, right? But
Yes.
if you're not authentically you, and you having troubles with the vulnerability part, bro, like you bringing that up, like yo, like I didn't invest the time in this marriage. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's being said. I couldn't tell you. That's heavy, especially for men. You know what I mean? Because we look at it stuff like, hold
Yeah.
on, that's cool. I don't need everybody knowing my business. You know what I mean? Like I don't need everybody knowing X, Y, and Z or what we went through or anything like that. Like, yo, like let's just sever it easily and just go our own separate ways. But that's a good point, man. Just a follow up question: what silently is destroying men emotionally today?
I think
Mm.
the societal pressure and the societal, okay, people that aren't men are defining what a man is. I'm just going to say it straight.
Mm,
And it's like, you need to be a man. How you know? You ain't never spent a day in your life as a man. So
mm,
you don't know. And I'm just going to say it. Manhood is hard, bro. Like to be a real man, manhood is hard. It's one of the
yeah,
hardest jobs I've ever had in my life. And I show up every day.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And what that looks like, it changes. It's a moving target, and it's really to be whatever your family and your friends and those around you that have been entrusted to you need out of you. And sometimes you're pouring from an empty cup.
Mm,
Sometimes you think you're pouring right and you're pouring wrong. And then you have to go back and undo what you did. And if you haven't been taught how to apologize, how to communicate, how to go out and go get it, when to ask for help. That was one of the biggest lessons I had to learn as a man is it is okay to ask for help. It's not okay to lean on somebody in dependency, but it's absolutely times where it's like, yo, bro, you can't lift this by yourself. I don't care what way you try to lift it. I don't care what straps you get. You need help flat out. You know what I mean? Like, and so a manhood being defined by people who either one never stood up to it or by gender or identification, you're not a man. So you can't
yeah.
tell me what being a man is. You've never spent a day or an hour in your life as a man. And if you have and you switched over from the other side, there's no shade, but it's like we are not the same.
So two parts to that, and then I want to get Chalk's perspective. Um, it speaks back to that vulnerability piece you talked about in the last question, because as soon as you said that cup pouring, sometimes that vulnerability piece, how your cup pouring into a cup with holes, right? Because things is just leaking and going everywhere, right?
Yeah.
Like my stuff ain't safe here, right? Like I can't
Yes.
pour over here because it's not safe. It just goes everywhere. Now your mama know, this person know, and it's crazy because sometimes those are just things that I feel like I'm gonna stop there. The second part is as a girl dad, because I
Mm.
take it that you're talking about women, right? That's
Yes.
the only thing that's not a man is a woman. As a
True.
as facts, I'm going somewhere. So as being a girl dad, and both of y'all are girl dads, how do you? Is she not warranted to say, I seen my dad and how he was, and that's how she's basing her judgment off of? I get it. She's not a man. But also as a girl dad, I've heard y'all say numerous times, I'm showing her what a man looks like. And so I guess help me balance that out as being like a father, a girl dad, and trying to also tell her in the same breath though, you not a man. You can't tell a man what he's gonna be like.
Go ahead, Chalk.
So I would say, it's just a leading by example too, because I mean, not even this is the thing that has to come from not just me, but also from my wife. You know what I'm saying? In my situation,
Mm-hmm.
my wife has to also be a carrier of that message. She has to show that message with how she lives her day to day, and then also how she communicates with me in front of our girls. And I've always asked this question too, like because we've always heard the how you're supposed to treat a woman, but are we teaching our young girls how to treat a man?
Mm-hmm.
You don't never hear that being brought up. I mean, to this day, I've never heard anybody say, "No, I've been
Church.
teaching," because at the same time, it's like you said, it feel like it's a slippery slope because you're like, hold on, wait, do I want to teach my daughter how to treat a man? Am I, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like I don't want to teach her how to, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, finagle a
Yeah.
man or nothing like that. I don't want to teach her
Yeah.
how to be too, you know what I'm saying, wise
Yeah.
about the opposite sex in general. But it's still you got to teach them just from a respect level. Like if you want, if it's a action, it's a reaction to every action. So if you do X, Y, and Z, more than likely you're going to get go back to A, B, C. So
Yeah.
just think about the action piece of it because that's for me. It's like and I try to be as calm in my spirit when I give these lessons, and I'm a big analogy guy. You know what I'm saying? So I thank God for when He give me that stuff quick like that. I can make it simple and plain to them. Like, okay, well, you remember when this happened in whatever cartoon movie we watch? I can revert it back to that and like, okay, well, what if that was you? And how would you feel if somebody did you this way? And not even making it about as they're young, not even making it about man or woman, but just making it about the person first until she gets up a certain age. Then like Kenny's going to be a teenager soon. So these conversations are going to change a little bit differently with her because now you know, boys coming to pictures, feelings coming to my. I mean, it's natural for her to start thinking little boys cute and this and that, and it's gonna be natural for little boys to be, you know what I'm saying, showing their interest in her. So now the
Right.
conversation is gonna change. You know what I'm saying? So just speaking to the person first until they get of age. Then now, okay, now we got to separate this from left to right.
That's good. So yeah, I mean, slowly peeling back the onion, as
Yeah,
is needed, as is needed. Because I mean, and the only reason I ask that is because we do have plenty of men out here that can have a great woman, a great girl, and they tell you you don't know what a man is because you ain't a man, right? Like it's like sometimes we put ourselves in this box of if you ain't got no dangling, you ain't no man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
right,
just what it
right.
is. You can't tell me how
Yeah.
to do that. And women do the same thing too. You don't understand my body. You ain't got hormones. You ain't got all this stuff, right? Like, and so
You
like
ain't
I
deliberate,
love
baby.
that you said teach and both everybody has to be on the same accord with that.
Yeah.
Even on the flip side, like, yo, you're gonna have to teach Lil Mike, yo, listen, dog, like, you not a woman, but this is
Absolutely.
how you treat a woman. And as you get older, there's gonna be more things I will unveil about how that goes when you can
Yeah.
I
handle it.
I think what you're saying is that's actually something that has to be taught is the fill in the blank. That okay, as much as I've taught you about the opposite sex, I think I'm gonna use this example. So my father one time, and this is a direct quote. One time he told us, if you're right and I'm wrong, I'm still right and you're wrong because I'm the parent and you're the child. We looked at him like, hey, bro, what did you just say? Like, we're kids, but that you're tripping right now. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Like, just to just to give you, you know what I'm saying, the type of person my dad was. You know what
all
I
the
mean? So
baby
he like,
boomers out there.
bruh, like y'all gotta tighten up, bruh. Y'all gotta lighten up. You know what I mean? Lighten up then tighten up, bruh. Because that quote was crazy. But so I'm saying, so that's the type of father. You know, say like that's the type of person my dad was, old school country boy. You know what I mean? And so because he was like that, I remember my mother told me at a very early age taught me very early in my teen years. She said, Cleophas, it does not matter who it is. If you're wrong, and you just need to apologize because my father wasn't the type to apologize. So what she did was, and I didn't really understand it at the time, she was giving me game for later on in life. That just because you're the husband, just because you're the head of household, just because you're the man, that doesn't, excuse me, that doesn't automatically mean that you're right. So to piggyback off Chop, you teach the principle. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very intentional with Alea, my daughter. I'm very intentional with her about how she responds to my voice. And one thing that the Lord checked me on was like I would kind of get upset and I would tighten up my voice with her. I've never had to put lay hands on my daughter except for one time I popped her hand when she was like 18 months because she tried me. But other than that, she just turned 6.
18
You
months
know what I'm
is
saying?
crazy.
Hey, listen here. Listen, if at 18 months you know to defy me, then 18 months you know to get checked. If you show out in Kroger, you get anyway. But anywho,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying? So I never, you know what I'm saying, had to really discipline her. My discipline for her has always been my voice. You know what I mean? And my tone. And so I would notice like I was tightening my tone up and my daughter, she would react and kind of shut down. And the Lord was like, you don't want her to get used to being spoken to like that by a male.
Mm.
And so
Mm.
I had to rearrange my tone because I was teaching her, well, my dad used to talk to me like this. So when I do something that disapproves, you're putting that seed in her mind that this is how it's okay to be talked to by a male, and that's not. So I had to learn to incorporate a lot more patience, you know what I mean, as being a first-time dad. I had to incorporate a lot more patience because I didn't want her to become desensitized to that tone. Because later on in life, if a dude talk like that to her in front of me, one, it's going to be bad. But two, then the Lord's going to end up checking me. Why do you think that she thought that it was okay? I wonder who was the first man to ever talk to her like that. You know what I'm saying? So you have to teach
Because everything's a
principles, and then
slippery
I also,
slope.
yes, it is, and then also it's a moving target because when women say, well, my dad was like this, and this is what a man is, you also have to leave that room. What I was saying about that fill in the blank is your daddy ain't tell you everything. You're only going off of what your dad showed you. Because parents, as a parent, especially as a girl dad, It's my job to filter things from Alea. It's my job to do things in the back, in the booth, in the corner, in the dark that she never knows about. And it's only certain things I'm going to present in front of her. It's not for me to tell her how many hours a week I work or what time I had to get up or how I had to rearrange my schedule. That's not for her to know. So when women say, my daddy used to give me anything I wanted. Hey, you also don't know that your daddy was in with a loan shark for 20 bands. You know what I mean? So, and that's just an example. So it's just like you have to leave that room to fill in that blank of, yes, this is what was put in front of me. Yes, this is what I was taught. But at the same time, you still don't know everything. You know what I mean? You only know what your parents wanted you to know. And that goes for men as well. Like, when it's that time of the month, bro, I have no say so on nothing when I'm with, you know what I'm saying? When I have a girlfriend or a wife, I have no say so on nothing because I don't know what it's like for my body to be bleeding
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
clockwork every month. I don't know. And I say it like, I'm glad God made me a man because to actually push a baby out, bro, I'm straight. Give me the 40 hours and the muscles that have to beat people up and somebody break in first. I get to shoot first, bro.
Give
Carrying a
me
baby, having a
80
baby, bro.
hours.
Hey, give me all the hours. But to carry a man, listen, bro. No,
Yeah.
I would have been a virgin because
I pass.
you're not shooting me up, sir.
Yeah. Now that's good. That's good insight, man. Just from y'all, just dealing around that question, because I've always thought like, how do you navigate that space? I feel like and some people will say well, it's easier to raise boys and this and that. I feel like it's the same piece. You just gotta attack it a whole different way. My boys getting to the age. I remember the first time Inez came downstairs and was like, "Yo, daddy, something going on with us." I'm like, "Here we go. It starts. it start. It start. How old is your boy? 10? Golly, boy, it's starting."
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
and we're off.
Yeah.
Start your engines.
Right. So why is that so relatable? That's crazy.
Yeah, straight up.
It
Straight
is.
up.
It sounds like that boy engine was already started.
Bruh, you know what I'm saying? Bruh, you know what I'm saying? So, it's like navigating that, and I'm lucky to have two boys, because I'm like, all right, whatever I didn't do right with the first one, I'm going to double back and try to do it better with the second one. But, like, the same perspective, bro, like, and I'm big on, you got to teach people how to treat you, man. At the end of the day, and I think that goes back to the being authentically you, right? Like, you be authentically you. The tribe, the people that God has for you and your personality, like sometimes, man, I used to look at my wife and be like, why you always cop an attitude with people in traffic or, just different stuff, right? And I'm always questioning stuff. I'm like, because I kind of got this philosophy, be happy, be happy. Life is like, I don't never look at life as just that much, you know what I mean? And when I see people trip on stuff, I'll be like, why you like that? But then it's like, my wife is authentically herself all the time. Like, she's going to, and I think women do that a lot more than men, or they pick up on it a lot more because they just like, no, I'm not going. Like, what? You just cut me off. She told me the other day, there was a dude that ran his scooter into High Street and almost hit her car. That was last night. She was like, oh, I wish bro, we down the street on the freeway. She's still thinking about it. And I'm just over there now. I just look at it. I'm like, girl, you so fine, girl. I love that feistiness. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Because I know you ain't about to do nothing. I know you ain't about to double back. See, back then, I thought you was going to really double back. So I was like, you need to chill, gang. You with me. Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. I'm not going to jail for you. You will be in there. Like,
You're not making me no accomplice.
You will be in there.
You will be in there. I will explain to everyone. But now it's like, I'll be like, it's like that grandpa and that grandma that you see that's been together for 40, 50 years. And they just like, yo, hey, don't you go in the house saying all that cussing. They saying it to their friends. And I ain't saying to their kids. Kids already know. Don't go in there. Yeah, I know you got a little potty mouth. Don't go in that house cussing, because when she get on you, I'm going to have to get on you, because I'm always going to be on her side. That's just how she is. She ain't going for it. I love when I see that. But what that speaks to is they are authentically themselves. They've learned to love the authentic version of the other person and just be with them. I seen something that we could talk about on the next episode. It was with Kev on stage. He was talking about how his therapist, it was him, his wife, and somebody else. They was on a podcast, and he was talking about how his therapist asked him, like, yo, when your wife is on her period or it's that time of the month and she's going through all that, and he said that he was very dismissive. When stuff would happen, like that type of stuff, he'd be like, not me. He'll leave the room. Leave her alone. He was like, have you ever just sat with her authentically in what she's in? Like, have you ever just took a seat on the couch? She mad. Because eventually women come out of it. Let her come out of it. Be there through the whole process. Not make her have to go through that process alone. My wife sent me this. And it made me think, like, yo, like, that's really good. You know what I mean? Like, I used to be the person that was, like, telling my wife, like, I don't care about none of that. I don't want to hear no arguing. What are you talking about? Oh, it's that time of the month. I'm irritated. Well, you got the wrong one. I don't do irritation well. So chill, you know? But now it's like...
how'd that go over for you?
I mean, it just ended in a more argument, you know what I mean? Because, you know, she obviously
I'm
ain't
sure.
going, you know what I'm saying? But, like, I was trying to be all stern, and now it's like, what I've learned is to love my wife more. I love her by being present in those times where those moments that I wouldn't want to be present. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the things that test you the most, you know what I'm saying? And so now I just sit there. I could just look at her.
The things that test you the most teach you the most.
And then 15 minutes go by, I'd be like, you hungry? She looking at me. And sometimes you got to let people authentically sit in themselves because they'll sit back and they'll be looking at you. And then after a while, they be like, hey, he ain't left. He ain't got upset. I look, you know, sometimes you may feel like I look like a goofy. You know what I'm saying? I'm over here like, let me get myself together. You know what I mean? Because I'm over here doing a lot. And bro really just chilling like, all right, I ain't trying to be the fixer. I'm not trying to provide a solution. I'm just, yeah.
That's good. That's good, though, E.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then she eventually just rolls out of it. You know what I mean? She just rolls out of it. My wife used to always say, when you get mad, you always go in the garage. Or this is back in the day. You go away. I said, I used to keep a notepad on my phone. I used to always, God trained me to think of the things that your wife does amazing. And what she's doing right now, will your love change because of that? If not, it's time to be a man and get over it. Go back in there. You ain't even got to address the situation. Just be there. Like just be there. Just love on her. Like, because you don't understand what her body going through. And although you feel like, okay, it's causing you some type of misfortune or whatever because she having a little attitude, brother, the attitude wouldn't be here as long if you probably just stuck around and just sat in a mess with her. You know, that's what.
But watch this though. This thought just came to mind, and then I know we got to move on to another segment part. But are we only interested in their body when it benefits us?
That's a whole nother topic.
It is, but I had to put that out there. You know what I'm saying? One, when it's time, you know what I mean, to be intimate, we care about their body and what's going on. When they're carrying your child, you care about their body and what's going on. But when it's that time of the month, we gotta, you know what I mean? We men should, I'm gonna say we have to be, men should be consistent in that caring. You know what I mean? When it comes time for them to show up for us, you don't want her showing up looking all slovenly, dressed like Sam's off of Lean On Me. You want her showing up, you know what I'm saying? You want her, man, Mr. Clark shut down the whole lunchroom line. I want you to take a look at this
You been smoking crack?
slovenly dressed boy.
Not Sam's, though.
Golly.
But that thought just came to mind when you said that, though.
No, and I mean, and that's so true. And, you know, and not to just, you know, beat a dead horse, but it's just one of those things that I think as men, you know, I think there's so many just pieces to the puzzle with us. We try to make ourselves seem as simple as pie, and we ain't. Right, we got some of the same things, the same defaults women got. We got some of those same things. We still most of us is emotionally driven. That's why we play sports. Sports is an emotional game. That's why my wife, she be sitting there like, are they really crying because they lost? I'll be like, yeah. She'd be like, would you have cried? I'm like, yeah. She'd be like, y'all soft. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? And so, like, bro, just like, she'd be like, do y'all have hormones? Like, I think God has planted a little bit of hormonal juice into men that make y'all just do some wild stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so, I before we end, I do want to ask you, brothers, and I want you to fill in the blank. Men don't talk enough about blank.
Struggling.
Elaborate.
When life gets hard, depending on who you were raised by, you were taught to be a man. Don't show emotion. And then also when you add in what we've been taught, so millennials, we kind of have it the best because we were raised by, old school parents. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Respect, things like that. And then we also understand this new, AI, internet, cell phone age as well. But we also are kind of at a bad spot as well of, okay, do I man up and be tough how my dad was, how my mom raised me? But how do I present that in this new age where everybody is showing highlight reels and nobody's showing real life? You know what I mean? So if I show up as struggling is not marketable. You know what I mean? How to fix a struggle is marketable, but to show up as my brand is, I have no problem showing when I'm struggling, when my marriage is, failing. The fact that I want to get out of my marriage or I want to get off this job, but this job is supplying me as far as what I need to take care of my family. So what's more important, my happiness or my home? So these are real life forks in the road that men deal with. Also, when am I going to retire? Things like that. I don't have enough time in the day for myself. I want to work out. I want to be better shape. But if I come home and she didn't cook pork chops, gravy, and a bunch of things that are unhealthy, I don't want to show up as being ungrateful. But at the same time, I noticed that I got a dad bod. I noticed when I was around my homeboys the last time, from college, we got together, I was showing up looking like this. I don't want to look like that anymore. I went up before I had kids when I was single, my closet looked like this. Now I'm the last person that I buy something for. These are things that men struggle with. And it's like, who can I tell? Because if I vent to another man, bruh struggling with something too. You know what I mean? So it's like, what we about to do? Just sit here and have a pity party? Like whole time we trying to have a motion party.
Struggle party.
Yeah, we having a struggle party, and truth be told, in my heart, I want to have this emotion party. You can knock it in, Don Julio Aldry. You know what I mean? I want the motion party. I got the struggle party. So it's that dynamic going on. So when I say I think men don't talk enough about struggling, whatever that is, and then if you don't have what you want, this last piece I'm gonna say is if you don't have what you want on your arm, or if you don't have what you want in your marriage, or if you don't have what you want in the bedroom, you can find it on your phone. That's a struggle. I can go find these pages. I can go to these websites. I can go do these other things, these other outlets, satisfy myself, satisfy my flesh, satisfy my eyes. But on the back end, I know that tax is coming because I'm not touching her. I'm not showing her off. I'm not proud of her. I'm not being intimate with her. And also, ultimately, I'm not loving her like Christ loved the church because it starts off with agape. It goes to phileo. It ends with eros. So if I'm not flowing through all three of those, or I'm outsourcing one of those somewhere else, you're gonna catch that on the back end, whether you realize it or not.
That was good, Clee.
That's real. That's real. Um, the word I'm gonna say is more. It's like a root. It's a root word. So I would say the question again. E.
The question is, men don't talk about this enough. So whatever this is.
Identity. I would say identity.
Mm,
Um, because we are easily influenced by what we see, whether it be TV, even nowadays, social media, whoever your neighborhood OGs might be, you know what I'm saying? Even your father, you know what I'm saying? So you get caught up in this whirlwind of trying to walk in somebody else's shoes, not even realizing you got your own pair over here that's just waiting for you to pull them out the box for to go back to that word that y'all been saying to be you yourself authentically. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think we talk about the identity. Like, what are you identifying with? Like, what are you trying to get out of what you identify with right now? Like, are you just trying
mm,
to be, you know what I'm saying? You're just trying to be popular. You want to just seem like you know what I'm saying? You want to look like this, you know what I'm saying? Or do you really want to get down to the root cause of everything and find your identity and who you really are and what works well for you and how you could just run your race instead of trying to be like everything else that's around and being, like you said, trying to fall into the identity of what even some women put out there or what they think a man might, you know what I'm saying, might or should be or whatever the case might be. Like, no, dog, just lock in. And we gotta talk to her like my son, like it's gonna have to be a conversation I'm gonna have with him. Like, I'm gonna ask him, like, what you wanna be? You know what I'm saying? To kind of just see, like, what you wanna be when you get older, once you start realizing what you wanna do. How you wanna do that? Why you wanna do that? Why you wanna be that? What is it about that you wanna why? You know what I'm saying? And kind of just see if it's a real see what his heart posture is towards whatever it is he's talking about as he gets older. That way we can start just drilling down on, okay, all right, well, if you want to do this, this could be the outcome of that, but what you hope to gain out of it. So identity is my fill in the blank word.
Mm.
what
That
would
was
your word be,
good.
E?
That was good. I think mine's lines up a lot with Chop. It's crazy. He said identity. I was like, dang, gotta think of another word. Said, man, why ask this nigga? This nigga smart.
All of a sudden,
Nigga took my answer.
my frame fall out like, yeah, Chalk just left the chat, y'all, but I'm gonna take it from here.
Hey, Chalk got some of that water in his
Hey,
phone.
you know
Hey.
I would kick a nigga out the group real fast. I think mine's has to do with past identity. I think I think men don't talk about the ones that have came out of the identity struggles, out of even just struggles in general. We don't talk about our past enough. You know, we always just so gun ho on moving forward with life that we forget all the life lessons that God has brought us through, how he showed up and showed out, how he kept us, and while he was restoring us, while he was retaining us, while he was keeping the devil off our tail, while at the same time letting him get pieces and portions of our, like, listen, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that we just don't tell our story. And I think that these young men are so lost because they don't have nobody that has came out and given that testimony. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you think about it, bro. When we was in church growing up, that was the first thing they used to lead off church, Bible study, everything with. Who got a praise report? Who got a testimony? You don't hear that stuff. And it's kind of sad that why we got to go to a church to be able to hear how good God's been. You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
good.
and I think, you know, just speaking, you know, tying it all together, man, high school graduation, you know, college graduation. There's some kids going from college about to be grown adults. You got to go into a career now. I think try to fill your life around some people that's been through some things. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't, like, I used to, like, I've never been like a judgmental person, but you know, the first thought is to let me keep my circle around the people that are doing the same things as me, that are in the same niches as I am. You know, I want to be around videographers and photographers and this and that. When it's like, nah, man, you just need to be around some good, wholesome people that have been through some stuff. I learned more from my grandmother that sits on the couch and barely does anything no more now than I do from anybody else. Why? Because she just digging in the past. Yeah, baby. Yeah, I knew you smoked. Never told you why. I used to do it too. I seen it all on you, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's stuff like that. When I hear my dad tell me old stories like, yeah, EJ, you know, I went through this, I went through that. And it may not even be something that I'm going through. Like you said earlier, Clee, your mom told you things that was not always suited for right now. It was for you to store in the back of that brain, and eventually it's going to come to fruition. It's going to pop up,
Absolutely.
and you're going to be like, Mom said X, Y, and Z. Pop said
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z. And my dad is always telling me, like, yo, E, listen, it may not be for you right now, but I done seen enough life to know that it could be. I'm not going to wish that on you, but it could be something you face in the future, right? And I think even when it comes down to just mental health, and let's not even go, we ain't got to go all into drugs and all that. It just got to do with mental health. It got to do with your blood type. It got to do with a lot of stuff that I just think that information that we're withholding from other people. You know, I got to tell my kids, listen, there's a sickle cell trait in your blood, right? Yeah, it came from down here, but you need to be aware of that, because if you go mate with somebody when that time comes and they have a sickle cell trait as well, 2 sickle cell traits is going to go down to your kid, right? Like, and so, you know what I mean? Like God is the ultimate controller, but I think information is wisdom. And I would just love to see more people dig into their past, whether it comes down just from health and wealth, whether it comes down from experiences. Dig into your past, talk about your past with brothers. You know what I mean? Like, I be feeling so relieved when I find out, when I can share something new about myself with people that they may not have never thought. You know what I'm saying? Like, what, for real? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I love it because I'm no longer in it. That's how God gets the glory. I'm no longer in it, brother. So I know if you going through what you going through, I know if he can save a person like me that used to be doing X, Y, and Z, bro, he got plenty planned for you.
You said something that made me think of something I thought about earlier in the conversation, to trail all the way back to the beginning with the young lady who spoke at the graduation today, how she was 14, got pregnant, had the twins, and then she finished high school. I've been kind of in a valley of decision that I ain't in it no more. Like, I've been thinking about going back to school to get my master's degree. And I kind of, once I heard her story, was like, dang, bro, like, you don't got the obstacles in front of you that she got. Why would you not? You know what I mean? And so once you see somebody else's perspective, it gives you a better lens on what you have. You know what I mean? Like, that baby was 14, pregnant with twins, one of them autistic, and she pushed through, and now she's getting ready to enroll in at Ohio State. You know what I mean? And you have one child that you co-parent with that is not autistic. You know what I mean? And a master's degree is less time than a bachelor's degree. So how dare you not take this opportunity with education right here at the grad, you know what I'm saying, to further your education to the point you made, is about hearing somebody else's story and their perspective. It'll shift your lens. And that's crazy that I forgot about that. But when you said that, it brought that thought back to my mind that once you see what somebody else went through, you know, to achieve their goal, it puts yours in a whole nother way. Cause I'm thinking, bro, I just got done with ministry. Well, I thought I just got done with ministry school, but that's a whole nother conversation. But I'm like, bro, like, how dare you not take the opportunity to further your education? It's only going to take you 2 years to, you know what I mean? That's going to benefit you, benefit your family, benefit all those that you come in contact with what you're doing. When that baby got, you know what I mean? 2 kids, one autistic, been a mother since she was 14. She really not even about to go live the college experience for real, for real. She really about to go get her degree, all while still being a mom. And how dare you not take advantage of, you know, what's there in front of you right now?
I think past stories help propel the our future, right? Like, I love that you said it just gives you a whole different lens and look at it and perspective. You know, I remember one time complaining to somebody and they was like, "Man, how old is you?" I was like, "Man, I'm like 27." Telling them what I'm going through. He said, "Man, when I was 27, I was locked up in jail. I ain't had no freedom, no opportunity, no none of that. Bro, I'm 40 something, and I'm God is good. He got me through a lot, But bro, when I was your age, I didn't have the same opportunity that you have right now. And excuse me if I'm frank, but you over here complaining about something that it's not the end of the world, brother. Right? I think those types of real authentic conversations can be had when you share your past. And so, yeah, man, this is a fire conversation. I look like Clee got a call. I was about to say Clee the new AJ.
No,
this
I'm
week.
back.
I was about to say
The water. The water.
I was like, bro, they taking down the chop shop one person at a
Yeah,
time.
it's spreading.
One drip at a time.
Oh my goodness, man. Any lasting words?
But
man?
nah, this was a
We
great
at our
combo, though.
hour. We at our hour, man. So, any last words, man, out there? Anything you got?
I don't
Nah, I
really
feel
have
like
a final word. Just a
we lathered it up. I think pretty good. The lather was moving. Like it was just a lot of everything was spread out. It touched a lot of different corners, man. On just what 2 questions we asked, but it's just like you said, we broke good bread. Like so, I mean, I appreciate it. I was, you know what I'm saying, just taking a lot in mentally and just like, all right, downloading to try to make sure I remember some of this stuff to be real.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
yeah, just grateful for the space, bro. Like truth be told, to, you know what I mean, to what we were saying earlier about vulnerability, transparency,
Mm-hmm.
being your authentic self. Like we don't, I believe, I don't believe any of us comes in here in fronts. You know what I mean, and to know that this is going to go out to people, we don't know how far this is going to reach and who's going to see this. We show up as our authentic selves, and to be a part of that, you know what I'm saying, village community, bro. Just it's just a blessing. You know what I mean. I've been intentional the past couple of years about giving people their flowers, but just shout out to y'all, man. Just being, you know what I mean? Somebody ain't being true, which you ain't being authentic, but we show up as our authentic selves, man. So I just want to shout that out.
Yes, sir, man.
100, same, same.
And yeah, same, man. And I'm big on, I'm learning so much just having conversations like these, man. And like Chalk said, there's so much that you hear, and I'll be always like doubling back the next day, like just at work, just playing it, in my headset while I'm working and stuff, because I'm like, yo, like there was something crazy. What did I miss? You know what I mean? Because sometimes you really trying to put it together, man. But this has been an awesome episode, man. Episode 41, Chop Shop on the Directors Den Podcast. Make sure you go follow us at the Directors Den Podcast on all social media channels. And until next time, yeah, man, just continue to tap in, man. Continue to show love, and we out. Chop shop. Yeah, so that's it right there.